What's going on YouTube and Sinjin Nation? Welcome to episode 1 of the deck reveal of Budget Build Off. I'm of course Sinjin Omega, and before we get started I'm going to explain how I'm going to handle each of these episodes. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain what the challenge is for this week so that y'all can understand more fully what we are doing for this challenge and everything. Then from there I'm going to show you my deck, and then we're going to bounce over to TCG Player to show you my budget, show that I am within budget, the cards I selected and everything, and then we're going to back into YGO Pro, and I'm going to explain everything of the idea and thought process of my deck. So, without further ado, this is the Caveman Challenge, thus meaning that we cannot use Synchros, Fusions, Xyzs, Links, or Pendulums, and no effect monsters over 2500, though granted normal monsters are okay, doesn't matter what they are, and we have a $50 budget. And I did not mention this in this as well, but our reward we have agreed upon is rollover budget, meaning the winner gets to roll over any excess budget they did not use for the next challenge. So keep that in mind because that's really going to help me out. So let me kind of get over to YGO Pro for just a second. This is my deck. I am calling it Gaining Power, though I just have it as BBO Caveman Challenge. So we'll go over in just a minute, side deck and everything. There's a purpose to all of it. So let me get to here right quick. Sorry. So as you can see, of my $50, I used $13.87, which I'm rounding up personally to $14. Anytime that any of my budgets and stuff like, or buying, I guess you can say, I am personally going to just roll everything up to $14. Now, what we are essentially doing is we went through TCG Player and basically bought the cheapest of every card to put as our budget. Though normally people, when they buy cards, you want to buy the highest rarity and everything, but nah, this is budget. So that's what we're dealing with. So as you can see, that's the prices of everything, all whatnot. So I'm within budget, just so we're clear. So let's go back over to YGO Pro. Now, like I said, this is called Gaining Power. Literally everything in this deck gains attack in some shape, form, or fashion when destroys by battle or by using an effect, barring Swallowtail, Brother Spy, and Kaiser Seahorse. They both have key components in this deck, which I'll go over in a second. My main monster I want to really be focusing on is this guy here, Emis the Infinity. Now, not gonna lie, I really learned about this card back, I guess, in Duel Links. It is a Crowler card, Dr. Crowler card, which I don't think he ever used in the show, but it is on Duel Links. And when I was reading this and thinking about it, I realized, like, I really want to base the deck around this, but I thought of a bunch of ideas. I thought of like a full machine on deck to use it. I thought of like using light monsters effects, using like honest and things like that. But then I was like, you know what? Let me just compile him into a deck full of a bunch of monsters that have similar effects of his, and we'll do it like this. Thus, meaning we have the 3 Emis, which is the main monster, which we can easily get out with Kaiser Seahorse to count as his 2 tributes, or Tribute Doll as well. We can just send any of our other monsters to the graveyard, just special summon him. Though we can't attack this turn, which is fine. As well, we got the Kaiser Voice Raider. Now, he's here for the fact that if I have no monsters, easy special summon, he has the effect of, if it destroys monster monsters by battle, gain 500 attack. Thus meaning I can go 24, 29, so forth and so on. I forgot to mention, Emis is 700 attack. He has the highest attack gain of these effects, though he's also the hardest one. But Kai's Voice Ray, like I said, has the 500 attack and a special summon clause. Then we have 8 Fighter. If he destroys a monster by battle, he gains 300. He actually doesn't have to send it to the graveyard. Along with Kaiser Voice Rider, Emis has to send them to the graveyard. They don't, which is good. But the downside of 8 Fighter is if he doesn't attack all that attack gain goes back to 0. So it's kind of a two-edged sword, which is alright. Oh, I failed to mention that Kai's voice raider also, if he's destroyed by battle, the monster destroyed it loses 500 attack, which is going to be decent. Next, we have Crusader of Endymion. Now, in and of itself, he's just a 19 beater, but his effect is where he comes into play. I can use his effect to combo with my Maiden of McBree or my equip card Power of the Guardian, which was another reason why I really want to build this deck. I can place a spell counter on a card that can get a spell counter, and he becomes 600 attack till the end of the turn, thus giving me a 2500 attack monster, and as well beefing up my Maiden by another 200 attack, or beefing up the monster equipped to Power of the Guardian by another 500 attack as well. So, using him in conjunction with Power of the Guardian, Emis, and using Power of the Guardian's effect as well when I get the attack declaration, I can essentially power up anything, let's just say Emis. I can essentially power him up each turn by 1700 attack just by attacking and destroying a monster and using Crusader's effect. Now, I get to Swallowtail in just a minute. Kaiser Seahorse is only here for one reason only. Help me get Emis out. Counts 2 tributes for him. Swallowtail. My first original idea that I came up with was a Strength and Numbers deck, Warrior deck, and this was in my side deck. But now this is moved into my main deck for this deck, and here's the reason why. I can essentially use any of these monsters, preferably these, to get over something. If my opponent has 2 monsters on the field when they get over it, that difference of battle damage that I inflict, I can make another opponent's monster lose that much attack. Now, it can continue happening, I do believe it stacks. I'm not certain because it's not once per turn, so I do believe it just stacks each time. So I can attack over it, weaken a monster, attack over the weakened monster, so forth and so on, basically. And that's pretty much it. That's why it's in here, is to help weaken the monsters to make everything else attack better. Maiden of McBree I already went over. Just gains 200 with each spellcaster. If it destroys monster by battle, gains 200. Plain simple. Tribute Doll, again, is in here to help get out Emis. Polyduality, since I'm not really doing a lot of special summon, barring Voice Raider or Tribute Doll, it's just here to help me search deck thin. That's about it. Gravity Lash, I chose it because it's a simple spot remover, I guess you can say. It helps me weaken an opponent's monster if they might be attacking, just might possibly be attacking me with a much higher monster. 9 times out of 10, a monster with high attack also has high defense. So guess what? I'm weakening that monster's attack by its defense. My monster could probably get over it. If it's any of my, like, say, 8 Fighter, McBree, or any of these, I'm getting that much attack. It's a win-win. Power of the Guardian, one of the most key cards in this deck, I guess you can say. If the equipped monster attacks, place spell counter on it. The equipped monster will gain 500 attack and defense for each spellcaster on it, or spell counter on it, not spellcaster. Wow. As well, if the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle card effect, I can remove a spell counter from this card instead, or from the field instead. So, essentially, if I equip this to Macabre, I can just say, hey, okay, I remove spell counter for her, lose 200 attack, whatever. Next turn, I attack, I gain 500 again. White Veil is another key card of this. When I was going through another idea of this, I was doing an equip thing, and I came across White Veil. This is here for one reason only. I'm going to be having big monsters. Cotton's going to be having big monsters. But my big monsters are hopefully going to be bigger than his. And I don't want to run into things like Magic Cylinder, or D-Prison, or anything in my side deck. Board removal, basically. I can use White Veil to attack him. Not have to worry about these spell and traps. And as well, it even negates face-up spell and traps. And even then, I can basically Harpy's Feather Dust him when I attack. So there we go. Or not attack, destroys monster by battle. It says it right there. Which I don't even know if you can see it, but it's right there. The only downside of this is if he happens to pop this card, I take 3,000 damage, which is fine. It's a great price to pay. But if I'm below 3,000 and it pops off, guess what? White Veil kicks me in the butt. But it's a price I'm willing to pay. And then just simple traps, couple magic cylinders. My favorite trap card in the entire game. I think I've never mentioned that, but this is my favorite trap card. Like, he's going to have big monsters. I want that damage to go back at him. D-Prison, he's going to have big monsters. And a lot of times, a lot of stuff has destruction effects. I'm just going to banish it. Now, that's the thing. I don't really have to worry about like negative stuff. And I don't know if he might be packing trap immunity, which hopefully he may. So, we got that. Side deck is a different strategy type idea. It's still the basis of getting big monsters on the field. But the main thing is I can swap out these guys for, say, my McBreen 8 fighters. They can attack directly, and if they inflict damage, they gain 300 attack, or 1,000 attack. So essentially I can sit here 1,300, 2,300, 1,100, 2,100. Quick Power of the Guardian on, gain 500 more with each attack. So I can just keep racking up points that way. Darkness Destroyer is here for piercing and double attack. I was thinking about this as well. Another thing I can use with Power of the Guardian is, say, summon Darkness Destroyer, equip him with Power of the Guardians, and be gaining 1,000 each attack, which is good. And then if I would go this route, I would probably take out, say, Tribute Dawn the Kaiser Seahorses, in which then we have the first of the Monarch, or the first Monarch, which is a trap card that I can special summon it, declare an attribute, and it becomes the attribute. And thus, any monster I tribute with it becomes 2 tributes. But I cannot special summon monsters except for that card's tribute, which would be fine and dandy. Thus, if I can set this, activate it, summon my Darkness Destroyer or my Emis, I'm good to go. Then, if he has stuff that's kind of like can't be targeted trap effects, I brought in 2 Storming Mirror Forces and 2 Drowning Mirror Forces. Storming Mirror Force, he attacks, return him to the hand. Drowning Mirror Force, he attacks me directly, return everything to the deck, or attack positions. That's it. So like I said, the main premise of this is to get my monsters to big attacks and go from there. And, Emis is the key card. So, that's it. Like I said, this is how I'm going to structure these. Though this one's not probably going to be the best. I'm going to be getting a little bit better at this, which I should by now, because I'm more or less explaining my thought process before the duel. Whereas when I'm doing my YGO Pro duels, I'm explaining the thought process as I'm dueling. So these videos are actually a lot quicker, I guess. But if you did enjoy it, let me know down below. And leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Can't iterate that. And, I hope to see y'all back tomorrow for the actual duel. But until then, peace out. Happy gaming. Oh, and before I do end, now I think about this, y'all do have any ideas, let us know. I'll have a link to my Facebook, Twitter. Let me know, say, hey, here's an idea for y'all's BBO, your budget build-off. Give us what the challenge is, what the budget is, restrictions, all of that. We'll look it over, we'll decide, and if we like it, we may get to see it. So, just let us know, guys. But until next time, like I said, peace out, happy gaming, Sinjin out.